Welcome to Black Enterprises Profiles of Principled Entrepreneurship series, sponsored by Coke Industries. In our series, we profile individuals who are using technology and innovation to advance their organizations and our communities. Today, we're talking with Jasmine Crowe, the founder and CEO of Gooder, which connects businesses with local charities to rescue surplus food and get it into the hands and mouths of those who need it. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Jasmine.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
So your work feeding the hungry actually started before Gooder. Take us back to the beginnings of your mission.
My work prior to Gooder was all about social impact and social change. And when I had first moved to Atlanta in 2013, one fall I was just driving through downtown and saw hundreds of people that were experiencing homelessness on the streets. And for me, it was probably a first. But in that moment, I just felt really compelled that I had to do something and decided to start an initiative called Sunday Soul. And I started cooking in my kitchen for people that were experiencing homelessness and going out on the streets and feeding people in need.
But you wanted to meet the need on a larger scale and
Absolutely.
For the long term. How did your approach evolve from there into what is now Gooder?
I started hosting the Sunday Soul pop-up dinner restaurant. And I started that in 2016, and I talked to all of my volunteers about it in 2015, and I was like, hey guys, we gotta start letting people dine with dignity. So 2 years past doing it, I saw that we would be feeding people and there would be a line sometimes for 4 hours. Literally from the time we started feeding around the block, people would be in line, and I thought, how often do I wait in line to get food? And so I started the pop-up restaurant, and a video from one of the pop-up restaurants went viral on Facebook. And I woke up one morning and thousands of friend requests, but one of the reoccurring comments that I was seeing amongst all the praise was, who donates the food? You know, I want to support those restaurants. Where are you guys getting the food from? And the entire time I'm thinking, like, restaurants should be donating food. So that's really where the impetus first came from to start Gooder.
Gooder's motto is feed more, waste less.
Yes.
So you're not just attacking the problem of hunger, you're also attacking the issue of food waste, which is a huge problem in this country. Can you tell us about food waste in America?
Yeah, and I would say that food waste is not just a huge problem in this country, it's a huge problem globally. But in the United States in particular, 27% of everything that's in our landfills today is food. And so to give you some context, that's a 50% increase from the late 1970s. So we are wasting more food now than we ever have before. And as this relates from an environmental level, as this food sits in landfills, it starts to rot and it produces methane gas, which is a leading contributor to global climate change. So these are really big problems. So on one hand, you have 72 billion pounds of perfectly good food that's going to waste every year. 161 billion pounds that is like the scraps, the food that we're eating at home, things of that nature. In total, 161 billion pounds of good food. Billion pounds of food is going to waste. 72 billion of that 161 is good food. It's food that people could actually be eating that doesn't even have to go to landfill. So that's the problem that we're attacking right now.
One of the things I think is so unique about what you do is that you challenge the basic assumption that hunger is about scarcity. And you look at it instead as a logistics problem where the solution lies in fixing a supply chain. It just happens to be the food supply chain.
Exactly.
How is this being solved logistically?
I love that, and I love that you guys know that. So yeah, there's more than enough food. It's really a matter of logistics, and it is about connecting the business that has the food with the nonprofit organizations that are serving the people that need it and making sure that that's done seamlessly. So what we do is we have a network of third-party logistics partners that can be everyone from a Postmates to a roadie, and they are out here already on the road with vehicles, and they're getting pickup requests from these donors that we have, and they're now taking it directly to this nonprofit. So what it does is it allows the nonprofit to spend a lot more time serving their clients and a lot less time having to prepare meals. We try and keep the food centrally located. So we are typically delivering food within a 3 to 10 mile radius of where we pick it up from. And that is ensuring that the food is traveling safely and efficiently, but also that our clients are actually creating social change right in their own backyards.
One of the main tenets of principled entrepreneurship is innovation, but you're really applying new technology and specifically blockchain in order to solve an old problem. Explain how that works.
So for us, We wanted to be able to tell our customers that we have a true chain of custody of where your food goes, and also this is audit proof. If the IRS ever comes to you and says, how is it that you're writing off $100 million in food donations? Now with Gooder, you have a data secure hyperledger that shows every single time that food was requested for pickup, when Gooder recovered it, and when the nonprofit received it. They sign for it like they would a UPS package, and then their donation receipt is automatically generated into our customer's dashboard. We really have a simple use case that is all about making sure that the data is secure, that there's a record of all of these transactions, and that our nonprofit partners are simply making sure that their donation receipts match up to everything that they're receiving.
It's clear that Gooder does a lot of good, but you're not only in business to do good.
Exactly.
So how does this work as a business model?
So Gooder charges a volume-based fee-for-service model. So we are charging customers based on how often we're coming out and how much food we're recovering. And the great thing is that we find for every dollar a customer spends with us, we are typically netting them anywhere from 5 to 10% of that in a combination of tax savings as well as waste savings by reducing their waste stream.
So it's like a win-win-win.
Yeah, so the value prop is great, right? So we're helping them save money because for everything that they donate, they're getting tax deductions for it. We're helping them reduce their overall waste, and that's helping them become a better, more sustainable company, right?
More efficient.
And more efficient.
Yeah.
So now Gooder comes in with a solution that's all the way wrapped up with a bow and says, this is how we're gonna tackle food waste. So we're helping them become more sustainable, we're helping them save money, but we're also giving them a lot of data and analytics around what it is that they waste. And I think that's pivotal, because if you're constantly wasting the same thing and you're not making changes to your waste streams, you're overproducing things every single day. And so we're helping them save money even on their food costs. And obviously the greatest thing is that we're helping them empower their local communities, which I think is just priceless. So now people who would have otherwise went hungry because of your company have a meal. And I think that's like the biggest win of all. But ultimately, I see Gooder as being a food waste management company and being able to go into a company and say, we will handle 100% of all of your food waste. Everything that's edible will get to somebody in need. If it's not edible, we have other ways to solve that. So we could get it to animal feed. We could turn it into compost or mulch. We can even turn food waste into electricity and energy. So that's really where Gooder is heading, and it's going to be all surrounding innovation and technology. But our goal is no food in landfill and that everybody eats.
Can you put into numbers and overall what the impact Gooder has had so far?
Yeah, I mean, we are approaching 2 million pounds, and so that's great. So this is over 2 million meals, countless people served. It's really hard to say exactly the number of people that we've hit, because oftentimes we do have constant same nonprofit partners that we're supporting. So we look at the number of meals that we're providing. And so we're gonna be close to 2 million pounds diverted and about 1.8 million meals that we've provided. And it's gonna continue to grow. And I would say that we have a lot more need than we have supply right now. Our nonprofit network is continuing to grow, and there's people that we just cannot serve right now because either we're not operating in their city, we're not operating in their country. Gooder has requests from 17 countries to bring Gooder in 42 states. So we have a huge opportunity in front of us, and now we're just trying to tackle it, and I love what we do.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for sitting down and talking with us and for the work that you do and being an example of a principled entrepreneur.
You're welcome.